Welcome, everyone. This is Jeff Smith. We'll be starting here in about 5 more minutes. Just so you know, you can hear, we will be broadcasting and then the screen will come up and you'll be able to see things. Just wanted to let you know that we'll be starting here right at the top of the hour. Thanks for attending.
Welcome, everyone. We are excited to have you here today with us. We really happy actually to have you here. So we have a lot of things to talk about today, and I know earlier this week Jessica had most of you on the phone talking about some training that we did for online training, being ready for this fall as substitutes, and she mentioned about our training today, which is for becoming a substitute or becoming a tutor. Sorry, I'm so used to talking about substitutes, I blurt out there. But what we're trying to do is help establish a way that will allow you to use the skills that you've learned so far to earn more money and actually work less time. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about that and how that's possible, how you can use those skills that you've learned from study or being in the classroom that can actually transition quite nicely over into being a tutor. So yeah, I know the slide came up a couple of times, but if you stay to the end, I'm going to see if I can get this to work. I have a camera on my computer, and I'm going to kind of poke it out there and introduce you all to Jeff, Jessica, and Lisa. So hopefully it works. We'll see when we get there if that works for everyone. One thing I want to talk about really quickly is our results aren't typical. A lot of people have a lot of success becoming tutors, but this is not a quick, rich thing. It's not a scheme. This is something where there's a lot of work and effort that needs to be put forward on your side in order to make this happen. We're just going to give you the keys and tools that you need to make it happen, and we'll show you how. But just know this is not something that you're going to make money overnight. In Vegas, we're not doing that kind of thing. This is real work. This is getting things put together, how you need to do it in order to become a tutor and be successful. And that is my goal, right? My goal is to help you be successful as tutors here in the United States with your local communities, that you can bring value to these students that are, many of them are having a tough time. A quick story, my wife and I have 6 kids, and all of them were in school last year, including our oldest, who graduated actually from high school. And that transition from being in school and then being out of school was a really tough one for many of them, but it was actually really tough for us as parents because we simply didn't know how to help them. And that's really the benefit that you have as substitutes, that you've done that in the past. And if you haven't done that in the past, this is a great opportunity for you to learn and get the skills needed to do so. But an educator would have done a million times better than my wife and I ever would have done, and to help our kids get through that time. It was difficult, but there's some real things that we've learned that we'll kind of talk about and show you how that works. So what makes this different? The main thing that makes this different is because we're steady. Steady has been around since 1995, I believe, right? Now I'm thinking twice about that, but for 25 years we've been around, and we've trained hundreds of thousands of substitute people to become educators. And so what I want you to know is we have the skills set, we've done the training, we've done the research that allows us to be able to train you on what you need to do to actually be successful at being a tutor. We started back in 1997. I think Jeff actually corrected me, 96 or something. We got a grant that was the largest grant at the time to do research for substitutes and how to understand that better. And with that study kind of spun off and began to train substitutes in all 50 states. We work currently with over 1,400 schools nationwide. A lot of schools like, well, not name any necessarily, but just a lot of schools all over from east to west use our training because they know how effective it is. So we really have some real skills and understanding to be able to make this successful. So we've done a lot of things right. We've done a lot of things wrong, but what we've come to learn over the last 25 years is that there is a real value for substitutes that people that are not educators, that they bring to children, they bring the students. Having a great understanding of the needs and the requirements that are needed to actually help a student learn and achieve is a phenomenal skill that's really easily used to go right into tutoring. People can learn skills regardless of their backgrounds. We've learned over the years that whether you have a PhD or a high school diploma, the skills we teach will help any of you be able to be effective in the classroom in helping students. And it's been a great thing that we've been able to do and accomplish, and know that it's worked that way for so long. We learn what works and what doesn't work in the classrooms, right? We've done it over and over and over again, trained so many people over and over. We know how you can be successful. We've done that, but school districts, they've learned a few things the hard way over the years. And so we're going to give you some insights on how to beat that, how to overcome that, and give you what you need to be able to be effective tutors. So the hard way right now, last year, or this year, I guess, last school year, but the schools weren't able to provide work for substitutes, right? That was difficult for many people all over the country. And some still aren't even sure how to use substitutes, right? They're still trying to figure that out. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help you figure out how we can do that and help you move forward. Some schools are in sessions, some aren't in sessions, some are doing a mixed or blended, and it's kind of all over the board, right? So it makes it very difficult for substitutes to be able to know what to do and what to expect, in the future, and how they can have an income. And I think we have a way we can help you with that. Like I said, a lot of schools are moving toward remote teaching or blended. And so it's changed from face-to-face to online learning. Honestly, when school started last year, did any of us actually think that we would be in this situation, that remote learning would be such a part of the entire nation? I mean, I can see every once in a while, every state, every city, every once in a while, something happens where it's, catastrophic, but as a whole, as a world, this has become the norm now. And so if that's the norm, then how do we adjust what as substitutes, as people who want to be educators? How do we use those skills to be able to implement them into being into money? Actually, is where really where I'm going with it. How do I keep you employed? Want to know a way that does not require you to work in the classroom. If there's a way that I can show you that you wouldn't have to be in the classroom, and I know many of you are concerned about that. Statistically, though, we've done a survey recently that has shown that people who have our skills, who've learned studies training, are more willing to actually go back in the classroom, are more willing to be online, and a lot of other things. So if there's a way we can do that, we that's what we've been trying to figure out, right? How we can help you if you can't be in the classroom. The past 5 years, studies sold over 150,000 online training products. We honestly didn't use Amazon, just our own effort and will to make this happen. With that amount of numbers of people, and it's continuing to increasing, and school districts are coming to us asking us to train them. I'm just trying to paint a picture as to why we can help you, why this is something that we feel like it's important to offer to those who may not be able to be in the classroom right now. And so the opportunity that faces part-time educators is a really big opportunity. When you look at like a niche market, it's really important to find something that there's a lot of competitors out there. And even if, for example, if I wanted to be a tutor out there, I'm not trained as an educator, someone who is trained would be a lot easier to get a job than I would, because I don't have that training. So there's really a big opportunity here because of COVID-19. Last year, all the students were learning face-to-face, right? but it turned out that it wasn't something that we could continue doing. We had to stop and we had to reassess what was going on, and it switched over to mixed or blended or remote learning for this coming year now. Parents, we've been asked by a lot of people. We've seen substitutes have been telling us that parents have reached out to them to be tutors. So there's really an opportunity there. Most students now have a computer, have the internet. So there's ability for you to do online tutoring as well, which is what we're going to be really talking about today. And then we're talking about how you can market yourself with a quick 3-step process. So by the end of today, you're going to know enough skills, really, you're going to know enough information that you can actually do this without going any further. And that's really kind of an important part for me as we move on forward with this. So again, the opportunities because of COVID-19, not all children are going back to school. Many districts are requiring remote learning. Some parents don't really know how to help kids. I honestly didn't. My wife didn't. I mean, I have a master's degree. My wife is an RN. We're both smart people, but it doesn't work that way. You have to understand how that student learning process is, and substitute teachers are perfectly fit for that. So there's a great opportunity there. And then obviously the opportunity is to work less hours and make more money. So how does that work? Right now, the average pay for the average substitute around the country, this is just average. I know it varies drastically around the country, but the average is $12.90 or 90 cents an hour, right? So it's about $2,250 a month, and it's about $2,700 a year. Now that's working full time at that. Now, I understand most of you don't. There are some that probably do, but most of you don't, right? Part-time, you're working 20 hours a week, and it's half of that, right? You work half the hours, you make half the amount of money, $13,500. And that's really, just the average kind of pay for what you can do. But what we're talking about is being an average pay for a home tutor is working those part-time hours, making $25 to $50 an hour, which can bring in $2,000 to $4,000 a month. Right. And you're going to work part-time hours, half of what you normally do, but you're going to make more money, maybe double what you were doing before, but you're doing it part-time. So there's a real opportunity here because of how you can do that. And so I don't know if you know Tony Robbins. I actually been to Tony Robbins, one of his events, and it was really kind of fun to hear him. But one of the things he says is if you want to achieve success, all you need to do is find a way to model those who have already succeeded. And there are plenty of people all over. You can look on the internet about, learning pods and teaching pods. There are substitutes that we know that are doing this, that are making really good money, that there is a model there that's working and that will continue to work for the unforeseeable amount of time. And so there's some things to think about though. If you have not been a substitute, then there's 3 reasons why you shouldn't be one. One is if you don't like dealing with rowdy kids, if you don't know what your work schedule is going to be like for the week, if that frustrates you, or that's not comfortable for you, and if you don't like teaching without a lesson plan, right? Those 3 things, if those things don't mesh with you, then being a substitute, being a tutor, is not going to be what you should be doing. You should look into something else, right? Who wants to learn how to do the following? Like if you're interested in unpacking the limits or the unlimited potential that LinkedIn provides, we have some training for that. I guess I'm not really looking at the chat. I would be interested to know how many of you use or have used, or let's start really basic. How many of you have created a LinkedIn account? Let me see if I can find the chat. I would love to see how many of you have actually created a chat. Is that something that most of you have done or some of you have done? Be really interesting to see. You have, I see a lot of people have. So there are some, I see a lot of you have, some of you haven't, and that's actually great. That's kind of what I expected. LinkedIn is a powerful tool. It's a professional tool that's used to market professionals, but also today, more so, it's more about learning and being educated. LinkedIn is a real tool that a lot of professionals will give free advice about how to do things. And so you can learn a lot of information about business, about just so many things, like anything professional, like it's really all over the board. So that's really great that I see so many people who actually do have it. One of the things we want to talk to you about is about like refreshing your resume and interviewing skills. There are some real things there that by doing so, it goes into the model of helping you become a tutor, as you have to go out and start marketing yourself, talking to people basically, and talking to friends and neighbors. When you start doing that stuff, sometimes people want to know a little bit about you. And so whether you do that online with LinkedIn or you have a resume, you can provide them. These are things that would be helpful. I would also, interested if you would be interested in having me train you for an hour or so. There's some real benefits that I feel like I can provide and help you with, but we'll talk about those in a little while as well. Unlocking what's really interesting is what all of you know, if you've been trained as a substitute, what all of you know, and I hope most of you know, that there is so much ability for you to be successful in business because of your skills. Those skills are so imperative to have, and they work not just in classes, they work professionally. And so you have a lot of ability to actually be successful at doing this. So there's three secrets. The first secret I want to talk about is how to ethically build a home business, making more money as a tutor. That's the first thing, right? We're going to do it right. We're going to do it correctly and make sure you're set up to move forward, right? Without having issues, problems, running into a lot of things. So I've had lots of businesses I've owned in the past. And my first one, I think it was like 28 or so. And boy, I've messed that one up. I did not know a lot of things. I didn't know about networking. I didn't know about marketing. I didn't know about how to make partnerships with people. I didn't know how to, get out there and do work. I didn't know how to do sales. I didn't know anything really. I needed to do it because I started working with a company that needed me to be commission only. So I had to start a company doing that. But man, I struggled for so long, for so many years. So I'm hoping to give you some tools to learn about how you can do that. Secret 2 is how to effectively update your online resume in less than 30 minutes or less. Today, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you can update your LinkedIn profile if you have one. If you don't, you'll still learn how to do it. And you can utilize that and in order to find, clients, businesses, and other things to help you grow what you want to do as becoming a tutor. And then also we're talking about how to gain the trust of local parents to tutor their children. Really important factors that play perfectly into where we're heading with this. So the first thing is how to effectively update your online profile in 30 minutes less. We're going to do it right now. So if you have paper, go and get some paper. You're probably going to want to write some things down or do a screenshot. Totally fine, right? But we're going to talk to you about how we do this really quickly. So on your LinkedIn page, really quickly, you need to have an updated image, both your background image and your profile image. So many people don't have those, and it's a real put off by people who are trying to connect with you when they don't see who you are, number one, right? When you can come over, get my mouse not working, but when you come over to your profile image and they don't see who you are, that's really difficult for people to want to connect. Normally when people connect with me, and if I don't see an image, I actually don't connect with them. And so in the background image is really great. In the past, my wife and I went to Italy last year, and I took this picture of the Colosseum. But it's not so much like, wow, Sam took a picture of the Colosseum. It's just about my interest, right? It's giving some context for who I am as an individual and things I care about, things I like. It doesn't have to be a professional. It doesn't have to be a building. It doesn't have to be, something way professional. It's just something that intrigues you, something you like. And I would recommend that you do it, that it's a picture you take. And so if there's something you do enjoy, if you enjoy flowers, take a picture of flowers. If it's something you enjoy, put it out there so people know. And that's really helpful. The next update you could do your LinkedIn is to do your introduction and summary. These are really important so people understand who you are and what you are about, right? The headline here is, this is more for when someone comes across your name, your profile, they want to quickly understand who you are and before they go into deep dive, right? So this is your opportunity to kind of express who you are. Substitute teacher, I'm a tutor, right? An education, right? You can just go into writing about who you are and what you care about there. Then the next thing is the about section. This is a little longer section. The about section is more like a story. And I would recommend giving a story and talking about something that matters to you. So people, again, can feel connected to you. You can be related or relatable to them. And that's really kind of an important thing as well. Where are we at? So the number 3 LinkedIn update, sorry about that. The number 3 update is to request a request for recommendation. On LinkedIn, if you've worked for other people, if you've worked for the school district and you know the HR hiring manager, or you know the principal of a local school that you worked for, and they really like you and you're confident that they would give you a recommendation, these recommendations are digitally, they're on LinkedIn, but they could be seen and asked or visible by others who are looking at your profile. So what you do is you ask, if you've connected with that individual, you ask them, you ask your connection before my suggestion is you ask before you ask them for it. So I would email them or text them and say, hey, I'm going to send you a LinkedIn request a request for a recommendation. Would you mind doing that? And most people are pretty accommodable to that, and they're really helpful and are happy to do that. And I would also suggest asking a supervisor, a manager, someone that's been over you that can vouch for your professionalism and your abilities as a teacher, right? And I would at least get 3 at a minimum. I mean, start with 1, of course, but try and get at least 3 so you have more context from various people. It really helps people understand. So the point here is, as you create your LinkedIn account, that there are people around locally that will look at that. I was surprised. I was in a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and a friend of mine I've known for quite some time, he and I've never talked about LinkedIn, but we were on a Zoom call, and in the middle of the Zoom call, he chatted with me and said, hey, I know you do LinkedIn. I see you do a lot of stuff there. Can you help me out? And I didn't even know he'd even looked at my LinkedIn account. I had no idea. So it's really, the reason why I say this is because people, if you do have one, people do look for them and do look at them. And so by setting it up quickly, by doing these 3 things, you'll really help yourself move forward. So when you do a LinkedIn request, they show up here on your page, on your LinkedIn page, and it shows you, what they say. You don't really have much, you can't change what anyone says. You don't have to accept the recommendation, though. If you do, you will receive like an email notification, but you don't have to accept it if you don't really like it. You can ask them to change it if you want to, but I've never done that. I leave them as they are. I like knowing what people say, and that's fine with me. So the next thing is those, again, you ask for connections, ask for a superior, duplicated that a little bit. So there's some benefits of using LinkedIn for getting yourself set up and going forward. We're not going to cover these in great detail, but you gain exposure, you can demonstrate your expertise, the skills you have. It's a research tool to find out locally what's going on, what other people are doing. If you're looking for families close by that have kids in school, you can look and see what their parents are doing, what they're about, what they do. So you have a better idea of that when you go and approach them and talk to them. There's job boards. You can look, you can build skills there on LinkedIn, and obviously build a professional connection with people. And there's groups that you can join, And we're actually going to talk about that in one of the groups that we ask you to join moving forward if you can. And then the great thing about it is it's free. It doesn't cost you anything at all. For businesses, if they want to do something, they want to pay for advertising stuff like Facebook, yeah, you could pay for things, but LinkedIn as itself is free. So number two secret, you only need the internet to make this work. It's really simple to be an online home tutor because you just need the internet. You're only gonna work 4 hours a day, right? To make the same amount you did in an 8-hour period of time. And you work with small groups of children, right? I said you're only working 4 hours versus 8 hours is a big difference, but making the same amount of money in that 4-hour time is really, really helpful. One of the things that I want to help you know is the tutoring pod that you can create with multiple families is where if you're doing online, you can have 3 or 4 families with their kids online and you can be tutoring them at the same time. And there's some real benefit there. And those families can actually share the cost of that tutoring. So if you charge $50 an hour and you have 4 families, they each will pay $12.50 right each. Yeah. Yeah. Now I can't even do my math in my head. I apologize. So you have to share that cost, which is great, right? You don't have to have anyone having to fork out the $50 themselves. You can actually share that cost among families. There is online, we have a private community of study tutors on LinkedIn, and we'll be talking about that as well. And being able to split that cost again is a really important part. So how do you build a business making more money as a tutor? By working from home. There's a number of secret 3. 3 is to build the skills you need to be a tutor working from home. So what kind of skills are needed? What kind of things do you need to do to get going? The first thing is start your business. We have a study, how to become a study tutor course we'll be talking about. And in that course, we talk about how you start your business, but you can start off by doing a research on how to start a business. The SBA has a lot of information you can go to and learn about starting a business and what it takes to do that. And there's a lot of resources out there that you can look at. Again, we have a course we'll be talking about that does that. Number 2 is use your online profile. So as you start your business, you need to get in touch with people. People need to know who you are and what you're about. So you can use LinkedIn, you can use Facebook, you can use Instagram. All of these are places where people can find out who you are and what you're about. The main reason why I say this is that online profiles, because of COVID-19, a lot of people are really kind of concerned, worried about being out and about, talking to people face to face, and are concerned. If you are concerned about that, using these online profiles, online social media things, that they can actually help you reach those same people that are your friends that are down the street, but they can learn about what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Number 3 is you need to do some marketing. Marketing is an important part, and it's not really, there's a lot here: web content, your online marketing, email marketing, websites, some of that, but really we're talking about digital marketing in terms of social media, because that is really the simplest way to do marketing when you're dealing with a small localized area. So we're not talking about creating a tutoring services empire, right, that you need to hire a bunch of people. We're talking about you as an individual have the skills to be able to go in either in person or online to be a tutor for some students that are locally to you. And the digital marketing aspect is just so people near you know what you are about, right? You're connected to people on these different social media platforms already. Now it's a time for you to use those to be able to help you move forward with tutoring. Someone asked to go back. I'm not sure where was that the screen you wanted me to go back to? I apologize. So if you just go to sba.gov, you'll find everything there. This is a more longer link, but you'll find everything there. Just sba.gov. It's actually really great. A lot of tools and resources that are in there. And so some of the other things you could do that are really simple to do are flyers and handouts. And also you can, again, post on your friends, family's accounts and your own, and talk about that you're becoming a tutor, you want to tutor kids, and you can do that for them. So I don't know how long we've been here for, probably the last 12 minutes or so. I apologize, but I hope what you've learned so far is helpful. I can go into a lot more detail in terms of LinkedIn and marketing and things, but I want to be cognizant of your time. And so everything that you can learn, everything you can get to know that you need to know to get forward, that's something we can help you with. And so one of the things we talked about here at Steady is I could have gone cheap as possible and tried to sell as many as possible to you, trying to drop, try and sell our things as cheap as possible. But what I want to do is I want to give you a little higher investment, a little more return for working with us and using a course to learn how to be a tutor. So we're going to talk about some things that are really helpful that can help you. So first off, there's two different groups right now of you that are watching this. One group is certified professionals, and the other group is non-certified professionals. And what I mean by certified professionals are those who've either taken our courses already, who have a certification from Steady, or they're certified themselves, or have been an educator, bachelor's, right? If you're certified, you all probably know what you are. And then there's non-certified. This first section, we're going to talk about what certified professionals will get working with us and using our services. We've developed a new course called the Steady Tutor course, and it's a course designed for going into more details about what I've been talking about today. We go into the business side of things and what kind of things you need to expect in the business. We go into marketing, some tools you can use for marketing. We go into LinkedIn as well. We go into the different technologies that are needed. We go into different training that's needed. And we even talk about how you get started, right? When you start tutoring, when you sit down on your computer and you start moving forward. So we provide a lot of value there, but these are for, you don't need the sub skills, and we'll talk about that for non-certified, but this tutor course is designed to help you get going and get your feet underneath you. It's a $69 value right now. And again, it's for the certified professionals. The next thing you're going to get is the teaching online, our principles, techniques, and strategies course. This course is designed to help you know how to be effective online teachers and how to create lesson plans, how to work with students online, how to create that experience for them. And that's a $19.95 value. The last thing is our behavior management, our 2-hour audio. Now this, if you were to talk to Jeff is the owner of Steady, he would say the value you get out of this alone is immense, and it's worth every penny, just having this alone. So adding this as part of our package, our bundle, this is a big deal. So the total bundle is $129.95 for the whole cost. All three of those courses, $129. And so it's actually great buy. Actually, when we compare our prices to others that are out there, the competitors, we are far undervalued in terms of what we're doing, but we do it because we know there's an audience and there are individuals who need our training, but they can't afford the higher price training. So we're really happy to provide this. Now for non-certified professionals, what you're going to get is you're going to get the sub skills, the Steady Tutor course. You're going to go get the Steady Tutor course again. Which is also $69.95. And you're going to get the teaching online principles, techniques, and strategies for $19.95. And then you're going to get our behavior management again for $39.95. The value there is $169, right? Like that's how much this is worth. But the difference in this one is our sub skills, the 8-hour training. Oh, sorry, I think I went too fast on that one. So the sub skills, oh, I did. Sorry, I jumped back too much. But the sub skills is one that is really imperative for you as a non-certified educator to have those. That teaches you classroom management. It teaches you behavior management. It teaches you different teaching strategies. It gives you special education training, gives you professional training in how to be and how to act. It is jam packed with information that you need. If you haven't already completed or have that, you need those skills as an educator. You absolutely need those skills. And so it's really important that if you're going to do tutoring, no matter what, if you're going to do tutoring, just make sure you get the training you need to be able to do it effectively. You'll notice quickly in yourself, if you're not trained, how difficult it will be. And the kids will notice, parents will notice, everyone will notice if you don't have training and know what you're doing. So that's why it's really imperative that you get the sub skills training. So for the non-certified, it's $169 value for those. And that is one of the things that can be really helpful and really beneficial as you move forward as a tutor. So in terms of one of the bonuses that we want to offer is next week for the first 20 people that buy. I just can't open it to too many people just because I'm going to be talking and doing a live session, a webinar with these 20 people about the business, about how to, setting things up and getting things going. So the time that we put into that, it's $399 value there. But we only do this for the first 20 people. It's all I can take to be able to manage that. That's why it's going to be an hour long. We're going to be able to answer all the questions. I'll send out emails to you beforehand, asking questions so I kind of have an idea of what's going on and what kind of questions and issues, concerns you have. But it'll be a live chat, webinar chat between us. So with the study tutor bundle, the $129 value, or that's for certified. If you're non-certified, it's the tutor package for the $169. Plus the bonus 1-hour session, your total, what your value there is $698. So there's a lot of value in working with us and having us help you start your journey. We do have a second bonus though. It's another live 1-hour group, and that's for the first 10 people. So we're going to talk about marketing and how to get the marketing side and probably geared toward LinkedIn. And a lot of it will be, if that's how, again, I'll send out an email to these 10 people and asking questions, things that they're interested about in terms of marketing. And I'll preface a lot of those questions and help people kind of expand and think, but it'll be a 1-hour, again, webinar with 10 people that will talk about how to get the marketing stuff set up for them. So again, this whole value of the study tutor bundle, the study tutor or the study tutor package with the 2 bonuses is about $1,000 of value. And that's something that really can be helpful, very much so. So if all this did, even if you bought nothing really, if you were able to take this and move forward, if there's some resources online to go and create a business, there's things you can learn about marketing online. You can definitely do that. It's easy to do. And then getting the skills. If you already have the skills, you're really set to kind of move forward, right? But if all I'm doing is helping you earn $300 a week, would it be worth it to you? Would it be worth, spending $1,000, right? It would be over time, it would be, right? But if you were to work 2 to 4 hours each day, would that be worth it? If now instead of working full time, you now can work 2 to 4 hours a day instead, but make the same amount of money, is it worth it to you to be a tutor? Give more time to you to do other jobs, activities. So if you're tutoring on the side, but you need a sub as well, you have free range in terms of what your schedule is. That's one of the benefits of this. And that's really helpful to have that ability to change, and accommodate people that you're working with. So $1,000, about $1,100 for the general public to actually buy this stuff. And that's a great deal. A lot of consulting companies, consultants will charge thousands of dollars for an hour meeting And we're talking about 2 hours for the first few people. But because you're here today, we're going to do for the certified professionals, you can get all of those, the tutor package, the bonus skills, the 1 hour and session for business, the 1 hour session for marketing for $69.95. Or if you're non-certified, it's $89.95 today. So if you go to steady.org/tutor, you will find a web page there and you'll be able to see the two options there. They're really simple to do, simple to go and get things set up and started. The course itself is going to be, I actually wanted to take you to the course really quickly. Oh, let me log in really quickly. I want to show you the course and show you how it looks. And I think it's here. I could be wrong, but I'm going to try and find it. It's not. Okay, sorry about that. So I'll go to here and I'll show you the back end of our great website, but I'm going to show you the course that we've created. Now, the thing about the course is the course has been, it's been a kind of a work in progress, and there's a lot of information there, but we're still updating the course as we talk. And so there's a lot of things going on in the course. There's a lot of more things we're going to be adding to the course. Mainly the main things are going to be added are probably some video tutorials through the course. Right now, those aren't in it, but they will be available. And so this is kind of just a general outline of the course. And I'm not sure why, boy, I apologize. Let me find a quick lesson. I can take it in there. I apologize for that. Again, we're still kind of right in the middle of getting this stuff going and working. So we're trying to furiously for the last few days. After Wednesday, we knew that so many people were really interested in learning more about being a tutor. And so we kind of spent, every day trying to get things going correctly and get them up here for you. So we talk about starting a business here. We talk about the different purpose, the mission, marketing, business planning, working from home, how that works, talking to other people, businesses. We talk about technology in the course, right? We talk about the education and training that's required for you to do this as well. And then we talk about how do you go about doing some marketing and some really good suggestions on how to do marketing, what's the best way to do marketing. There's one little thing that's kind of fun. There's a Stanford professor. She's a doctor, and she talks about how storytelling will change people's mind, that people are 22% more likely to listen and change their mind if you tell them a story about something. They're more likely to buy. And then again, the starting off instructions on how to get going, right? So we're providing a lot of information in here about how to become a tutor. And that's what so for the $69.95, you'll get that course, that main course, how to be a tutor, will be one of the main things of this that you can learn and expand how you can become a tutor and be effective at it. So you have two choices, and I understand and completely understand that they're yours, but you can do nothing and not worry about it. It's 100% risk-free, right? Absolutely, I understand that's an option for you. The other one is to pony up a small little investment today, compared to the value that you're going to be getting. Compared to the $1,100 for $69 or $89, you're getting a lot of information that is helpful. I do see something about being licensed. The purpose of being licensed is wonderful, but that's why we've separated if you're licensed or not licensed to give you these tools available to you. So we do have a 30-day guarantee that if you sign up today and you don't like it for any reason, we'll refund you the money. We have that guarantee normally and with our steady products, and we're going to fulfill that as well. It's something that we feel very confident about. We feel like the value is definitely there, and you'll get more out of it than you even think you will. And so really what you need to do is just go to steady.org/tutor and get going. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us, of course, and we'd be happy to talk to you and help you with any questions you may have. But again, remember, if you're licensed, the value is $129 but it's only for $69. And if you're a non-licensed, $169, but for today it's $89. Our prices will adjust on the website. After today, they will adjust. And so we're actually going live with the training, with the actual course on September 1st. And so just so you know, like it will not stick around. The two bonuses that I'm having, they won't even be an option for people. These are just for those who buy today. The first 10 get the business session, the first 20 get the business session, the first 10 get both the business session and the marketing session. So again, the value is definitely there to help you get going, get this thing started off correctly. So I think I am done. Are you guys, I'm going to see if I can get my camera to work. That's going to be the real issue here. So bear with me. Let me see if I can switch. I think, Jeff, you need to turn on video. Would you mind allowing me to turn on video? I don't know if you can do that. Let's see. No, I apologize. Should have realized this beforehand. Let's see if, there I am. So you can see me now. Let me see if, I apologize. It's not as big as I want it to be, but if you have, let me see you turn this over, turn this around. I apologize, but I'm going to peek you outside of my door. There's Jess. There's Lisa. I don't know, you probably can't see, I apologize. She's way out there. She's really not that far away.
Uh-huh.
Jeff, you want to poke your head out your door?
I'm online, so I'm here. So thanks.
But they want to see you, Jeff.
Yeah, they are. I've turned my camera on.
These are nice little offices, though. So we're glad to have you here, and we hope if you have any questions, we can answer them for you. And I'll probably just leave this. I'll probably stop my share, but answer any questions you guys have. We'll be happy to help you at all. So thanks for coming. I appreciate it. See you guys.